Coming up, we have read the scariest stories from around the internet. These terrifying tales will leave you questioning reality. So if you dare, stay tuned because you won't want to miss this. But first, do not forget to subscribe if you have Ona, so you won't miss any of our spin-chilling stories. Also, make sure you turn on the notification bell so you can get one of these every day. Let's jump right into today's video. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. Two guys in a car saw a girl hitchhiking. She was beautiful, but she was also very scary with her pale white skin, dark circles under her eyes, and long flowing black hair covering most of her face. Still, they offered her a ride, but she only asked them to drive down a really long dirt road. As they got closer to her destination, the girl suddenly grabbed the guy's arm. Her nails were long, sharp, and bloody. She then started drinking his blood, screaming that it tasted like iron. He passed out, and when he woke up, he was alone. In the car was a note that read, "Thank you for the meal. P.S. I'm not done yet." The next day, the same couple saw the girl hitchhiking again, but this time they drove right past her. The girl didn't seem angry, just sad. Then they heard a knock on the window. It was the girl, but her head had been cut off. Instead of a face, there was a gaping hole where her jaw should have been. She then opened her mouth wide and stuck out her bloody tongue. A night at the amusement park. A group of friends dared each other to spend the night at an abandoned amusement park. It was run down and old. One of the rides even said, "Do not ride on it." They split up into two groups and started exploring. One group walked past the sign warning them about the ride. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet started shaking. They ran away. But then they started to hear a strange melody coming from the ride. It was coming from the carousel. The horse they sat on started moving on its own. It then threw them off and into the air. One girl landed directly on a wooden stake and impaled herself. The others ran away in terror, but one boy wanted to check if the girl was still alive. He found her impaled body, but it was missing a hand. He then felt something wet and sticky on his leg. He turned around and saw that the carousel had thrown his shoe off and it was covered in the girl's blood. They all ran away as fast as they could and never looked back. Asylum. A man was walking through the woods when he came across an abandoned asylum. He went inside to explore. On the floor, he found some writings on the walls that said, "Let me out. We are not safe." Suddenly, he heard footsteps and someone whispering behind him. He turned around, but there was no one there. He kept walking and eventually found a room with padded walls and a table in the middle. On the table was a book. He opened it and started reading. It was a story about a man who had gone insane after living in the asylum for too long. The last page read, "I'm sorry, but you can't leave. No one leaves here alive." As soon as he closed the book, the lights turned on and a doctor appeared in front of him. He was carrying a syringe full of a green liquid. "I have been expecting you," the doctor said, and plunged the needle into the man's neck. T. Hookman. Two lovers were parked in a secluded area of a lover's lane. They were making out in the car when they heard chains dragging metal moans. They thought it was probably just some drunk people nearby. They kept kissing and fooling around, but then they started hearing footsteps near their car. Then a man's voice yelled, "Get out of your car, you filthy animals." The couple was scared, but decided to ignore the man and keep doing what they were doing. Then the glass on the driver's side window started shattering. The man outside tried opening the door, but it was locked. Suddenly, the window was completely shattered, and a hook went through the hole. The lovers screamed, and the man outside started laughing maniacally. He then broke the passenger side window and reached inside to grab the girl. The boy put his foot out, and the hook caught his shoe instead. The man outside yanked hard, and the boy lost his shoe. The lovers raced away as fast as they could. They never looked back, but they could hear the maniacal laughter of the hook man behind them. The passenger. A man was driving home late at night when he hit a woman while she was crossing the street. He stopped to help her and she told him that she was fine and that he could drive off. But then he noticed that her legs were both broken. He called 911 and then stayed with the woman until help arrived. When the paramedics came, they told the man that she had passed away. He was devastated and couldn't stop thinking about the woman. A few days later, he was driving home from work when he saw the same woman crossing the street. He stopped and asked her if she was okay. She looked at him with hatred and walked away. The next day, he saw her again. This time, she was lying on the side of the road. Thinking that she might have been hit by another car, he stopped to see if she was okay. As he approached, he noticed a slit across her throat, and then he saw her passenger seat. It was covered in blood, no face. A mother and her son were on vacation. They were staying in a cabin deep within the woods. One night, they were woken up in the middle of the night. They heard loud bangs on the front door. The mother opened the door a crack, but did not get a good look at who was there. She only noticed that the person or animal had no face. Then, it vanished. In the morning after, of course, not sleeping at all, they checked the surveillance footage. They watched in horror as a faceless figure walked up to their door and knocked 3 times. Then it vanished. There was no one outside. Who was it? Why did it come to their house in the middle of nowhere? They never found out because the next day they received a phone call saying that the owner of the house needed it back right away. They packed up and left, never looking back. The clown. A man was visiting an old friend in the hospital. He was surprised to find out that she worked in a children's hospital. As he visited her, a clown dressed in a colorful suit entered the room. The man hated clowns, so he told his friend to get rid of him. The clown ignored him and started telling jokes and pulling out rubber chickens from his pockets. The man told his friend that he was being serious, but she just laughed it off. Finally, the clown walked toward the man and started tickling him with a giant feather. The man swatted the clown away. The clown fell to the ground and hit his head on the corner of a bed. Blood started pouring out of his nose and eyes. He then stared at the man with a look of pure hatred, before collapsing to the ground and dying. His painted smile stretched ear to ear. The man and his friend stared at the dead clown. She then told the man that the clown wasn't real. He was an actor and part of the hospital's entertainment staff. The man was relieved, but then the nurse came in and told them that she had been fired for killing a patient. Confused, the man asked what she was talking about. The nurse then took off her mask and revealed her face. It was the same face as the clown. Were you scared? If so, let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this scary video. If you want to hear more scary stories, check out our other videos. Thanks for watching.